Hello everyone, welcome to the Birth Control Detox Masterclass. I am Naturopath Rachel, tuning in from the beautiful Ellie Beach in Australia. And this masterclass, I am going to teach you how to quit birth control safely and effectively so you can avoid getting post-pill symptoms such as infertility, hair loss, acne, irregular periods. So I'm really glad that you're here. Let's get straight into it. I'm just going to minimize my little face. Okay, so like I said, I'm Naturopath Rachel. I'm tuning in from Ellie Beach. That's a little town in Australia, and I see women all over the world helping them to quit birth control. And it doesn't matter what kind of birth control you're on, either that be the Implanon, the pill, the Mirena, the injection. It doesn't matter. If you're on synthetic birth control, you are in the right place to help you quit safely and effectively. I've seen women all over the world, from the Middle East to the UK to the US, obviously here in Australia, and no matter where they are, everyone has the same story where we're given the pill at such a young age, then we think that this is the only thing that's going to fix us. And then we might hear some dreaded stories like quitting birth control might give you that acne or hair loss. So we think, okay, well, this is the only thing that's going to keep me, regular. And it's just in the too hard basket to quit birth control because I don't want to suffer from acne. So if you are feeling like that, we're going to deep dive into some of the main reasons why I am so passionate about helping women quit birth control. And it does not mean that you're going to get the acne or any of the post-pill symptoms if you do it safely and effectively. And this is why I'm here. I've got your back and I'm here to support you in that transition. So what to expect? I talk really quickly and I talk to you like you're my best friend. So just know that if you're wanting to really try to keep up with my Australian accent, but know that I've got everything written down for you as well. So just sit back, relax. We're here for about 45 minutes and I'm going to go through post-pill symptoms. And I guess the main reason why you're here is to go, right, Rachel, what do I do? What are you doing in clinic? How do I quit birth control safely and effectively? So my tips is something that you can start to add literally straight away. You're going to leave this masterclass equipped with some of the best tools in your pocket that you can start to transition off birth control and rebalance your hormones. So this is what you should expect, to be more confident in leaving this masterclass knowing I've got it. I'm going to quit my birth control and I'm not going to get the post-pill side effects. Like I was saying, I have a gift for you guys, and I've written down everything that I'm going to talk about in a nice PDF, step-by-step little guide. So you don't need to write down anything here. I've got you covered. There's a link somewhere below, whatever platform you're on, and you can actually download this straight away. You can go through this webinar, talk together with it, or just download it at the end of this masterclass, and you've got the steps right there in your toolbox to start implementing these straight away. Okay, you are in the right place if you are wanting to quit birth control and reduce post-pill symptoms. A lot of my patients will come to me going, Rach, I've been on the birth control now for like over 10 years. I want to quit, but I don't want to get acne. Like I don't have time for that. Or I was put on the birth control because I had PCOS. I want to quit, but I'm really scared that my body's going to go back to the way it used to be before birth control. So if that is you, I've definitely got your back. You are definitely in the right place to learn a little bit more about post-pill side effects and ways that you can stop whatever you were put in the pill for initially. You don't have to go back to that type. You don't need to go back to that girl that you once were. Things need to start changing, and I can teach you how. This is also for women who are wanting to seek natural contraception methods. This means that you're wanting to learn how to use your body's natural menstrual cycle to know when you're naturally fertile, when you're naturally not, so you can start to embrace natural fertility methods. Now, I have seen a huge shift over this past 5 years with women not trusting the medical system. We now know that maybe our governments and the medical systems are like hand to hand, little best buddies that don't really care about our health. And we're starting to question, hey, what the hell are we actually putting in our bodies? So this is for women that are going, I want to embrace my natural cycle. I'm so excited for you guys because this talk's for you. This is also for anyone suffering from post-pill side effects right now. So if you've quit the pill, you've got acne, and you're like, crap, what do I do? Where do I even start? Because there's literally no help in our healthcare system to go, all right, I've put you on the pill. Now let's transition you off the pill. It's almost like crickets when you're like, excuse me, I want to quit the pill. What do I do? So if you have quit birth control and you're finding that you've got irregular periods, maybe you're getting a bit of acne, maybe you're going back to the way that you were prior to getting on the pill, this is definitely for you as well. You're definitely in the right place. And then also if you're wanting to optimize your fertility health, it is a bit scary as a naturopath to see a lot of research showing that infertility is skyrocketing throughout the Western world. It's not funny. It's actually quite concerning. Like men's sperm counts, men are also being affected by this, are down like 50% from the 1960s, and it's going down a further 5% each year. And women, we're wanting to, most of us are wanting to focus on our careers, and we're trying to get pregnant later on in life, and we are facing major difficulties. And I know it's not just here in Australia. I know it's not just in my little small town in Ellie Beach. It is literally all over the world. And I do have women coming to see me, and they're like, Rach, I want to fall pregnant. And I'm like, all right, give us at least 3 to 6 months to clear out the body out of synthetic hormones so your bub is not affected by the hormonal birth control. We know that this is going to be passed on to the next generation, and I'm here to help. So if you're wanting to even look at fertility, even look at having a natural menstrual cycle, you are definitely in the right place. Okay, so these are the common mistakes that I see when we're quitting birth control. The biggest one is quitting cold turkey. I can put my hand up for this. I quit cold turkey. I remember the day very clearly. I learned something that I'll teach you about in my next slide, but I was like, holy crap, I need to come off. This is it. I'm done. And I stopped taking my oral contraception pill from that day onwards. Well, after that, about 3 weeks later, I started to get the most horrendous, painful acne all over my chin line, my back. It was so painful that I couldn't even sleep. And I was studying nutrition. I was living the most healthiest, cleanest life I ever have in my whole life. Yet my face was just breaking out. And it took me about 2 years for myself to actually finally clear out the synthetic hormones and to get my body back on track after the pill. And I was on it for almost, I would say 15, 20 years. I was on the pill on and off. And I know a lot of you girls can relate. And I honestly think that time was really hard for me. I went through a bit of depression because your face, it was acne, like literally, guys, it was very, very painful. But I feel like I had to go through that in order to get this passion of no girl has to deal with this. Like I was 25 at the time, and lucky I was studying nutrition because I had the resources, I had the time to go and be the guinea pig. And now that I've learned all the tools, I treated my gut health, I treated my liver, I treated my environment, and I had to learn this so now I can pass on this life experience to you so you don't have to suffer from what I did. So it's one of those experiences, the journeys, that has turned into a blessing. So I went through it so you don't have to go through it. So quitting cold turkey, do not try it. You definitely have to start to prepare your body to quit birth control because your hormones can start to flip out. It's very confused when you stop giving it the birth control because now it's like, oh my God, I'm not pregnant. They either have this peak in the connection from your brain to your ovaries. So you have this abundance of hormones causing hormonal imbalance, Or some girls may not get their periods within 6 to 12 months. Like, it's called amenorrhea. It's infertility. You're not ovulating. There's no connection from the brain to the ovary. So I deep dive a lot more into that in my other talks. But quitting cold turkey, big no-no. Another thing is lack of education about the menstrual cycle. I find that a lot of young girls are coming to see me with their mom, which is such a blessing, to actually learn about the menstrual cycle. I know that when I was about 13, 14, we did have a sex education class in school where they talked about the menstrual cycle. But whoever really sunk that in at that time? Like, the teachers were never engaging. I think it really needs to come from our parents. And I love my mom, and she did raise me as a quite a nice young girl, but she never really passed on that deep knowledge about utilizing my menstrual cycle as a superpower. When do I ovulate? What does my vaginal secretion mean? And what's a healthy period? Because I think she never was taught by her mum, and then her mum, and then however far it goes up. So we really don't have this understanding of, okay, I'm going to quit birth control, but what should I actually be expecting for my first period and then onwards as well? Another common mistake is that when we do quit, if it gets hard, if we get a little bit of acne, if we get a little bit of period pain, or if life just gets too hard, it's like, this is too hard. I'm just going to rely on the pill, and I'll deal with it when I want to have kids, or a little bit later when I have the time to deal with my hormonal imbalances. That is a big problem. Don't wait for yourself to have kids. I can honestly say that the amount of infertility, the amount of miscarriages that I see in clinic as a naturopath in the holistic, world, miscarriages are increasing, infertility is increasing. So please don't wait to quit birth control and keep using the medical system. If you're ever wanting to have kids, like even if it's 5-10 years from now, quit. It is far better for you and the next generation to be quitting birth control now. All right, so they were the main reasons, and I just wanted to put up a can you relate, because no matter who I see as a patient, obviously I'm based here in Australia, but I do see telehealth with women. And I was so surprised with women from like Oman, even the US, New Zealand, our little like sister country. Every single woman that I discuss the hormonal birth control, they all have the same story. And it'll be so interesting to hear your story, and if you can relate to this scenario right here. So 13-year-old Jenna, who's getting her period, is experiencing skin breakouts and painful periods, which, when bad enough, will take the day off school. Her mother took her to the doctor, who prescribed her the pill to fix her period and acne. After 6 months, Jenna began to feel depressed, and she experienced her first panic attack. Jenna's mum took her back to the doctor. They prescribed Jenna an antidepressant to help her control her moods. After a year of being on the pill, Jenna decided to quit. Her acne came back worse than ever before and is suffering from heavy clotty periods. She decided to stay on the birth control because she feels it is the only solution. How many girls that is listening to this can relate to this? Because I can, and I know so many women out there all around the world can. The pill is literally given out as a fix-it pill for any hormonal hormonal imbalances, or even to regulate the menstrual cycle. Let's be quite clear. It does not regulate any menstrual cycle. It does not help to support the woman at all to rebalance her hormone. It is a castration of her natural hormonal menstrual cycle. This is completely corrupt, and we've got to start looking at it completely differently. I could go right into the actual history of birth control. It is actually bloody scary of why they actually created birth control for human, population control. If you guys ever thought of that, then this is the real stuff. It's actually finally coming out. But the reason why I'm so passionate, and I want this to really sink in, is that this girl, this 13-year-old Jenna, thinks that her body is broken. She thinks that the only way to fix herself is being on the pill, is being on medication. Not only that, she's now suffering from depression due to the pill, so she's on a second medication, and she's such a young girl. This is going to affect her confidence if she puts up her hand in class to ask questions, the friends she chooses, the partner she chooses. And if she starts her life at such a young age, not having confidence in her own body, what are we doing to this next generation of women? And this is us. Like, this is my generation. This is probably your generation, because I can put my hand up and no one is there to support us. And I really, if you are watching this is why I'm so passionate, because we have got to start raising our children, our next girls, with respect for their body and such a deep appreciation of the menstrual cycle, because it is time no one should be on the pill. The research that is coming out is very frightening. Okay, so what we now know about the oral contraception pill and any sort of synthetic birth control that we are taking, this is the newest research that's coming out about it. We know that it depletes very key nutrients. These are things like your folate, your B12, magnesium, vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc. So when you go to the doctor, does any doctor go, hey, look, here's the pill. By the way, we know that it depletes these very important nutrients. I'm going to put you on a good multivitamin to help stop any nutrient deficiencies. And when you look at the deficiencies that these deficiencies cause, it's most of the post-pill symptoms: hair loss, weight gain, infertility, poor detoxification, mood swings, depression. Like, it is like a spiraling door, revolving door, is that the pill causes these deficiencies, you're deficient in these, you're imbalanced even more. So it's just crazy to think how many of us are walking around on the pill without these nutrients. By the way, if a patient is coming to see me and they're like, Rach, love it, I love what you're preaching, but I'm going to stay on the pill for now, great. I just go, well, let's put you on a good activated multivitamin just to help top up your levels, because you are depleted. So if there is one thing that you can walk away with today and you stay on the pill, please go get yourself a good multivitamin. You are deficient in so many nutrients, causing fatigue, and you really need to be topping up your levels. The pill also causes weight gain and poor gut health. The pill feeds into a family of gut bacteria called the estrobolome. I highly recommend to go and Google it. I love gut health. Like, this is my bread and butter is gut health. But literally, it feeds into the estrobolome. So it goes into the liver, then it gets bound nice and safe, and it's like, Rach, let's get rid of this toxin, because like it or not, the pill is a toxin. It goes into the liver to be processed. Once it's bound up, it goes into the gut. Bye-bye, never to be seen again. Well, this gut microflora that it actually feeds into breaks up this estrogen and gets sent back into your body. And this is a very aggressive estrogen being sent into your body, and it binds to these receptors. And do you know what receptors it binds to? The BRCA gene. So how many girls have increased the increase of breast cancer in the world? A huge amount. Not only that, is that it causes a lot of the weight gain. The estrogen tells your cells to grow. Literally, that's what estrogen does really well. Healthy big boobies and, more weight gain around the hips, butts and thighs. But this is very hard to reach fat cells because it's cold. Like if you ever touch these estrogen dominant areas, hips, butts, thighs, arms, back of the neck, it's usually cold. There's no blood flow to these areas. And that's where you see this estrogen dominant woman. Very hard to lose weight around these areas. And not only that, 70% of your serotonin is manufactured in your gut. So this is that real deep decrease in that serotonin levels as well that plummets. And this is why girls get more depression, inability to deal with stress as well. Headaches is the biggest thing. I personally have suffered from headaches when I was on the pill. I used to get them all the time. If you think of estrogen, it builds things. So it builds blood and it makes your blood quite thick. So if you've got real thick blood going around your little capillaries, you're going to get this tension throbbing headache. So headaches can be contributed to the pill. Deep vein thrombosis. So if there's any of those conditions that run in the family, there are some women that are absolutely not allowed to be prescribed the pill if there is heart attacks or cancers that run in the family because of the aggression of that estrogen. And we're still giving it out to young girls, which is just absolutely crazy. Anxiety and depression, it is a known fact. There was a very famous study, a Danish study, over 1 million women participated in this study. They were aged from 13 to 35, and they found a 1.23-fold in depression in adolescent women, so young girls that will be diagnosed as depression. Look at Jenna. She went to the doctor and got her pill. Months later, she suffered from depression. Now she was on an antidepressant. So this is a known fact. If you are on a contraception pill, or your daughter is, know that there's a high chance that you will go back to the doctor and be prescribed an antidepressant pill because of the side effects of birth control. This is the one, it changes your partner and preference. So this literally is the one that I listened to in my lecture at uni that day. I walked out of that classroom and I'm like, I'm done, I quit. So it changes your preference in your partner. So get this. In your body, in a woman's body, there is called the histocompatibility genes, and she will seek a male with opposite histocompatibility genes. Now, if they've got opposite genes, it just means a better gene diversity, better immune response for their offspring, better fertility rates. And when you're on the pill, what the pill does is it gives you a high dose of progesterone or estrogen, a combination or just the one. That triggers off to the pituitary gland going, Rach, you've got a high amount of hormones, exactly the same amount of hormones that you get when you're pregnant, and your brain literally thinks you're pregnant. And it shuts down the ovulation pathway because it's like, you're pregnant, let's just shut down ovulation. There's no need to make more babies once you're pregnant. It's an innate response. So synthetically, your body will think it's pregnant, and that switches you on your seeking a male with the same histocompatibility genes. And do you know who has similar histocompatibility genes? Your family members, like your father, your uncle. Like this is real, this is just I don't even know what the words are to describe. So you're literally seeking a male with the similar histocompatibility genes. What this means for your offspring is low immunity, less genetic diversity. And when it has low immunity, think about all the kids now being born with really with allergies or cancers or autoimmune conditions. Like the kids that are being born, I see, maybe it's because I work as a naturopath, but I see a lot with ADHD, learning difficulties. But I feel like it's exploded since I was in school. We could bring nuts and seeds. These days it's like you can't bring nuts, you can't bring seeds. So the amount of allergies has exploded. So when I learned that this is potentially going to affect my natural body's ability to seek my soulmate, like my true soulmate, and raise my own healthy children, that was it for me. I was done. So this is something so deeply personal that I'm like, guys, this is just crazy. Like the way it switches our genetic profile to suit someone that we should never in the history of our world be even suited to. Okay, and then lastly, it decreases your libido. I know so many couples that have gone, look, I don't have my libido, I'm quitting. Like that is it for them, because it is so deeply important to have that connection, to have that drive, that love for your partner. And as soon as a woman gets on the pill with her boyfriend and then she's like, nah, I'm not in the mood, the guy's like, get off the pill. Like he's actually pushing her to get off the pill because of that intimacy. That's so, it's what makes you a couple. It is what no one else can share that with you. So it is really important. So decrease in libido. And there was a study that was done by the Psychology Journal that women who are on birth control are less attractive to their partner. And this was the fact that they found, is that more women on the pill are more likely to have an affair on the pill. Like, this is crazy. This is breaking down our family unit. So these are the side effects. I don't know if you guys are like, wow, I totally knew that, or like, yeah, man, I need to get off the pill. But I just want you to know that this is what I'm trying to call out. And I'm literally going to schools in my local area, and I'm talking to girls about how they can use their body's natural menstrual cycle and even avoid this. I don't go so deep with the little girls with this, but I want you guys to know and encourage you to get off the pill, because the research is coming out now that the pill is absolutely devastating for a woman body. So just lastly, on the pill side effects, 30 to 40% of women stop using birth control due to the side effects, which is great. Know that if this was a man and there was a male contraception pill, and the side effects were exactly the same, depression, low libido, do you know what? It didn't sell, because no man was like, no way, I'm not going to do that. So why do we put up with it if men aren't going to put up with it? Like, come on, girls, we've got to really stand our ground here and be like, I'm not doing this to my body anymore. So 30 to 40% sounds great. But do you know what? There's still 60 to 70% of us walking around on the pill, having depression, low libido, not feeling good, bad gut health because of the pill. So I'm calling out to you women that are on the pill, knowing that it's bad. These are the next steps that we're going to take together to help you transition off safely and effectively. Because it is definitely time to start breaking away from synthetic birth hormones. No matter what you're on, the implant, the pill, you can start to implement these next steps into your life so you can experience a healthy menstrual cycle, so you can connect to your body deeper than ever before. Having a womb, having a menstrual cycle is sacred. It is a blessing. I never thought I would say that, because I've come from being prescribed the pill. I had heavy periods and I hated getting my period, but I can honestly put my hand on my heart and say, I freaking love getting my period now, because I tap out. I use my period as a guidance system to be like, do you know what? I'm bleeding. I'm going to stay in bed. I'm just going to watch Netflix and do some yoga. Like, I use it to reset each month. It is something that I use to guide my life, to guide my career. And yeah, I just feel so much better. And I want you to experience that as well. But first, we got to get you off the synthetic birth control. All right, so this is what we've all been waiting for. This is my process on how to get off birth control. Now, there are 3 steps that I went through personally to clear out my birth control, to improve my health and clear up my post-pill side effects, which I suffered from, which was acne, hormonal imbalances, moodiness, depression. So first step for us is to elevate your gut health. We got to think of your gut health as the base of your temple. If we're trying to build you up, your foundation to you is your gut health. Things didn't fall into place for me. I was trying to treat so many different potions and lotions to treat my acne, but it wasn't till I got serious about my gut health and cleared out the inflammation that was happening, that was contributing to my acne. Also, like I said before, your gut health recycles the synthetic birth control. So nothing is going to fall into place until we get the foundations right, which is elevating your gut health. That is the step number 1. Step number 2 is enhancing detoxification. We need to clear out the pill, and we need to clear it out quickly and effectively. So there are 3 pathways, very specific pathways that I speed up. In total, there's about 7, but the pill will go down 3 pathways. That's glucuronidation, sulfation, and methylation. Now, if you haven't heard of that last one, methylation, 40% of people, the population, have a methylation deficiency. It's called the MTHFR gene. And I deep dive into this a lot more in other talks. But I highly recommend, if you do suffer from acne or PCOS, if you've got cleft palate or tongue tie as a young girl, you need to check out the MTHFR gene. But we really hone in into these 3 specific pathways to get the synthetic hormones cleared out correctly. And why this is a really important step is because eventually you're going to start to make your own natural hormones. And if it's fighting to compete to bind to receptors, your natural hormones have got no chance. So this is where that hormonal imbalance comes from. Lastly, we need to eliminate your toxins. Like it or not, the synthetic birth control is a toxin. It is an endocrine disruptor. It goes into the liver. It's processed through the liver. All toxins are processed through the liver. But if your liver goes, well, thanks for speeding me up, but you're still getting environmental toxins and plastics and phthalates and BPAs, it's like you've missed the point. We need to stop other hormonal imbalances, endocrine disruptors from coming into your environment. And I just want to put a note here as well for eliminating toxins, because a lot of patients go, Rach, yeah, I kind of get what you're saying to embrace a toxin-free lifestyle. But what's the point? Because the government, the things I buy on the shelf, the government would be there and they wouldn't allow it on the shelf for me to buy, right? And I want you to understand this. Yes, the government has a regulation of how many toxins you can put into a particular product. So let's use triclosan, for example. It's a known endocrine disruptor. It has been linked with different cancers, and it's a neuropoison. Triclosan. The government is aware of this, so the government's gone, hey guys, look, it kind of causes cancers at 10 milligrams, so you guys can't put more than 5 milligrams in your products, okay? We need to keep it low. The big companies go, right, let's follow the regulations, no more than 5 milligrams of triclosan. So when you're brushing your teeth, your toothpaste, Colgate, for example, has triclosan. So you're brushing your teeth, that's 5 milligrams. Cool. You haven't gone over the limit. Need to wash my hair. Cool. I'm going to wash my hair now, putting in 5 milligrams of triclosan with my shampoo. And then your conditioner, also 5 milligrams. Great. That's 15 milligrams in total. But that's not it. There's, 5 milligrams that's placed in your makeup, your mascara, your lipstick, if you're wanting to put cream on. Can you understand that over just that one morning getting ready for work, you have been exposed to yourself over 20 milligrams of triclosan, and they've said 10 milligrams is the safe limit? So the government, yes, regulates how much they put in each product, but no one is regulating how many products that you're putting in your body. And I really want you to let that sink in, because we are exposed to over 700,000 toxins a day. It is a big problem here. The Western world, it doesn't matter if you're in the Western world, if you're in, we were in Sri Lanka last year, and the amount of endocrine disruptors, I felt were even more exposed to the different toxins and chemicals and pollutions and plastics. So that is why I'm so strong on being toxin-free, and embracing a toxin-free lifestyle, just so you can understand the importance of that step, because please don't skip it. Finally, embracing your cycle is step number 4. So I always say give yourself about 3 months following these steps so that you can feel empowered. You'd have better gut health, you'd have better detoxification, and you've pretty much embraced a toxin-free lifestyle. It does not take you long. It is not that hard. And you will be ready to quit birth control and start embracing your natural hormones. All right, let's get a little bit deeper into the step 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to give you my biggest tips on how you can start to support these 3 areas. Okay, so number 1, your temple foundation, your gut health. I recommend all of my female patients to start embracing Thrive Spice. This is a blend of very antimicrobial herbs, which are nutmeg, cinnamon, clove, and ginger. And these will go through the gut, and the antimicrobial, very important antimicrobial, and they start to kill off the yeast, the bacteria, the SIBO, the methane-forming bacteria, and most importantly, the estrobolome. So this is that family of bacteria that recycle chemicals and toxins and the pills and hormones back into circulation. So I take this daily. It is written in your little handout, and this tastes like Christmas. I swear to God, they are Christmas herbs. But these are very safe, effective. And guess what? It doesn't matter where you are in this world, everyone's got access to these spices. Like, these are some traditional antimicrobial herbs. Our ancestors use these. Like, these are something that I want you to start taking daily in order for you to quit birth control and help to support your gut microflora and detoxification. So get some Thrive Spice, blend it up at home, and start taking it straight away. I bet you even have most of these in your cupboards right now. Secondly is chew your food. And I know this sounds like, oh my God, Rach, this is like so basic stuff you're telling me to do. But hey, nothing's going to stop you from doing this, and you literally have no excuse not to chew your food. Now, the reason why I say this is because when we're quitting birth control and we should be eating a very healthy diet, if you're not digesting your food and mixing it up with your salivation, your amylases, and digesting the food, you're not breaking down all the nutrients, you're not assimilating it. This is half the problem that I see with my patients. They're on the go, they're like, crap, I've got to eat, it's 1 o'clock, and they're just not digesting the foods. This is going to cause the food just to sit there, or it's going to go through the gut not properly digested, and you're missing out on all of the nutrients that you've just ingested. So a lot of us need to start chewing our food. And yes, your jaw's going to hurt, but I can guarantee you this is the simplest, easiest, I guess, act to do when you're eating your food, and no one has the excuse, but it definitely increases your body's ability to digest, and it eliminates any gas, farting, burping, bloating. So all of your mates, your family, your friends are going to be happy with this one. So chew your food, every single bite. So make sure you're reading that PDF, because it's got a little bit more information on exactly what the chew challenge is. Okay, lastly, I need you to cut out dairy and sugar. Now, there are many reasons why you need to cut out these foods. The main one, dairy can cause a lot of inflammation. Specifically, it increases insulin-like glucose factor. So we know that dairy can be linked with acne. So this is the biggest one, because a lot of my girls are very scared of quitting and getting acne. And I can agree, I got acne. So I don't want to leave any stone unturned. I take my girls off acne when they start quitting birth control. And another thing is sugar. Sugar is so addictive. Sugar is so corrupt. It is literally hidden in everything. There's something called the bliss point. So the bliss point, think of Goldilocks, and she starts to, the bliss point is when, I guess, companies start to hide sugar in. So remember Goldilocks when she was like, this is too cold. And then she was like, oh, this is too hot. And then she had that one where it was like hitting her receptors, like, oh, this is just beautiful. This is what they do to sugar. So they're literally spending billions of dollars finding that bliss point. So you're addicted. Literally, it binds to the receptors, your dopamine hits off, and you're like, I need more. I want more. And they've come along and they've done it to all of the food, from yogurts to packaged foods to, sauces and mayonnaise and all these foods. You're like, why the hell is sugar in there? Because these companies are trying to get you addicted to their food, and it's very corrupt. And you look back at who these companies were. These companies stem from the cigarette companies. They bought the food companies back when cigarettes were like, crap, we're going down, guys. They found out our secret. It's causing cancer. So all that money from cigarette companies went to go into our food companies. I can't believe that was even allowed, and it's not spoken about more. And it is all there. It is all coming out in the open now. So cutting out dairy and sugar needs to go. Second step is enhanced detoxification. So these are our 3 main important steps that you can start to take straight away to start clearing out birth control safely and effectively. So number 1 is embrace sprouts. I know this sounds really funny, but I'm talking specifically about broccoli and kale sprouts. Now, these 2 sprouts are my particular favorites because we know that they've got a high amount of sulforaphane. Now, sulforaphane helps to ramp up the sulfation clearance of estrogen, progesterone, toxins, chemicals. It's a high anti-inflammatory. So it's a compound that's found in food to help clear out the pill. So this is talking about food is medicine. Now you can find broccoli and kale sprouts at your local grocery store. They're super cheap to grow on their own. You can get little sprouting jars, and you don't need land. So if you're watching this over in a big city where you don't have much land, you only got a tiny little box, guys, you can start to make your own sprouts. As a naturopath, I like to get mine in a tablet form, a very specific broccoli sprout that yields a high amount of sulforaphane, just to give my girls a little bit more of a boost. But know that broccoli sprouts and kale sprouts is using food as medicine as well. And I do deep dive into more of these supplements and what you can actually use and the dose that you can take as well in other talks. So look out for those ones. Step number 2 is sweat it out. When is the last time that you got sweaty? Literally sweat out all the toxins and chemicals from your pores. And I say this to girls to sweat it out because there are very important toxins and chemicals, BPA, phthalates, or endocrine disruptors that leave you when you sweat. And most of us just aren't sweating. Now, sweating, usually I would highly recommend to go out and do whatever movement you love, either that dancing or going to the gym, lifting weights, doing a little bit of yoga, walking. I don't care what you guys do what you love and make sure that you're getting sweaty. If you've got that extra bonus to go to a sauna, hands down, go to the sauna through this detoxification period and you're going to feel those pores sweating out some deep toxins. The sauna is absolutely fantastic. I use it personally 3 times per week at my local gym. But before that, when I started to clear out my acne, I had to get sweaty, and it's not that hard here in the Whitsundays because we're in the tropics, so you can just sweat just walking out the door. But whatever you guys do, please start to get sweaty. I need you guys to sweat out those toxins through your sweat. Very, very important. And then lastly, highly recommend a supplement called N-acetylcysteine. We're going to call it NAC for short. N-acetylcysteine is one of the most potent and effective liver detoxification boosters that you could possibly take. It helps to clear out the birth control. It's a huge anti-inflammatory, so I use it for girls with acne. It helps to support your immune system. It's great for the gut health, your lungs. Literally, you read the list. There's a huge list of why N-acetylcysteine is so great, and it's fantastic for girls with the MTHFR gene. And it has been now used and researched for infertility as well. And it's amazing for PCOS because it helps to stabilize insulin, which the root cause of PCOS is insulin resistance. So if you have had that diagnosis of PCOS, highly, highly recommend to get yourself onto N-acetylcysteine. It's available everywhere, like every company since COVID. It did sell out during COVID because of its benefits with the immune system. And I've noticed, Google N-acetylcysteine. It's very easy to get your hands on, very easy. And I highly recommend for us to start supplementing with that. Okay, lastly, step number 3 is eliminate toxins. Now, I know you know why it's important to eliminate toxins because they are coming in left, right, and center, and no one is protecting us from the amount that we are being exposed to. So it is up to you, girls. It's you and only you can start to put up that barrier and be like, no more toxins. I'm not letting you guys come into my body. Get passionate because it can be quite fun to become toxin-free. So the first thing I get my patients to do is to remove all plastics, particularly single-use plastics. It is so not cool to be sipping from plastic straws anymore. I'm literally here on the Great Barrier Reef. This is my hometown in Airlie. The amount of toxins, single-use plastics that I've been seeing, just bags, like plastic bags and bottle tops and plastic bottles and straws and all the turtles here. Like, we have a little turtle hospital here as well, and it's devastating to see what they're coming in with. And it is estimated that we're consuming about 1 credit card size of mycotoxins a day. a week, because of the amount of toxins found now in our foods, in the water, absorbing it with our clothes, like fast fashion. Look into that rabbit hole about fast fashion. You start wearing like linen and natural cottons because of that. But no more plastics. We have got to take out anything with plastics in it, and let this one land as well. A lot of my patients go, yeah, I'm BPA free. I went to BPA free is now new plastics that don't contain the BPA, which are linked with cancers. So these big companies are like, right, well, we'll just replace BPA with BPS, which is like a very similar chemical. I went to an endocrine seminar a couple of years back, and one of the big speakers got on and says, look, your naturopaths, if your patient is still on BPA free, get them off, because now it contains BPS, which is just as toxic as BPA. So we just can't trust any sort of thing that's plastic. They'll just replace it with something worse. And it's only a matter of time until scientists go, oh, guys, we had this one wrong. Sorry, we've just put a worse toxin in it. So all plastics need to go. We need to start embracing organic food. You can't see the sprays, the herbicides, the pesticides, the chemicals that are sprayed on your food. You don't see it. So you're like, oh, this is big, bright and red apple, yum. And if you're not paying attention to what they've sprayed, that apple is now a toxin. It's not even healthy for you, because your liver goes, well, thanks for these nutrients, very minimum. Oh, and thanks, I need to also clear out these herbicides and pesticides. By the way, sides, like herbicide and pesticide, side means death, to kill, like genocide, to kill. Do you know what that is doing to your gut microflora? It is killing off your gut microflora. That's contributing to weight gain, low serotonin levels. Like, it is bigger than just embracing organic free stuff. Now, in my little worksheet that I've got you, I have got some tips on how to embrace organic lifestyle, because I know I was a uni student, and in Australia, buying a broccoli is like $8 for an organic one, and then it's like $2 for a non-organic one. And I'm like, oh gosh, I really want to buy organic, but I've only got so much budget to work with as a uni student. So I completely get how expensive being organic can be. So I highly embrace Dirty Dozen and Clean 15, because they've done all the hard work. It's an independent company, the Environmental Workers Group, and they've literally listed the highly sprayed vegetables and fruits, and then the less highly sprayed fruits and vegetables, so to say. So use that to help you to decide, right, this is my budget, where am I going to buy my organic fruits and veggies? Lastly, clean up your makeup. Like I was saying, most of the toxins, unfortunately, girls, are coming through our makeup. And don't get me wrong, I love makeup. Like, I love how women, dress themselves up and be presentable and start to do the contouring and all of that. I never really had that when I was young, but I've definitely sat around and watched YouTube and watched how these amazing girls start to contour their face. The only worrying thing when I was watching that, I'm like, oh my God, that probably contains 10 milligrams of triglycerine, and another one. I'm just watching all these toxins go on these beautiful young girls, and that's all I could think about. So know that my face is 100% done with clean, natural products that don't contain any of this, and they're amazing. I don't have any reactions. I can wear my mascara all day because they're so natural. So what I want you to do is start to use an app called Think Dirty, and you're going to start to scan all of your makeup, your foundation, your shampoos, your conditioners, and this amazing app will go, Rach, this has got a bad boy in it. I want you to switch it out when you use it, after you finish it. So literally within 3 months, you're probably going to finish that shampoo. Just select another shampoo that doesn't have it. So I am not saying go and throw everything out. You've done everything wrong. I'm not saying that at all. I'm giving you the tools to educate what's in your environment so you can make better choices when you run out. So just make that clear. Okay. And then step number 4 is you should be ready to quit birth control and start embracing your natural menstrual cycle. Now, I tell my patients, look, give me 3 months minimum on this protocol, doing these steps, so that we can make sure that your body is primed to start rebalancing its hormones, reducing inflammation, and reducing the potential of those dreaded side effects as well. So like I was saying at the beginning of this masterclass, that I have written down everything. I've got your back. I've put it in a little guidebook that goes through everything and even more, so that you can start to implement how to boost your gut health, enhance your detoxification, and then start to support your environment that we're living in. I really hope that you guys get a lot out of this. Please go get it, because this is a tool for you to embrace and start using these steps that I have used in clinic as a naturopath, and I know this is going to help you. If you're wanting to deep dive on this a little bit more, I have got my online program called the Birth Control Detox online program, and this goes into the steps even more in depth. It's an easy to follow guide. It goes into a little bit more of what a natural cycle should look like, why some women will get hormonal post-pill side effects. And enrollments are open now. So if you're wanting to join this journey with women all over the world, literally all over the world, there's a community of women that are going, yes, I am ready to quit. I am sick of relying on big pharmacy to look after my body. I'm going to take control and look after my own body myself. Then this is you. Let's start the journey, because enrollments are open to do this work together. Not only that, I did want to say, I'm a nutritionist. I'm a naturopath. Food is medicine. One of the biggest things that I find with women is they need some good nourishing meals, and I've got your back with this one. So I have created a whole book of delicious recipes that you can start to cook immediately, and a 10-day meal plan, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, so you can start using food as medicine. I've also got a bonus of your supplements that you can take and the dose that you can take as well, so we can make sure that you are getting the best chance to reduce post-pill acne, not suffer from hair loss, weight gain, emotional imbalances, depression, so you can quit birth control safely. So these are the bonuses as well. And I did want to let you know that if you are wanting to join, I give a 7-day money back guarantee, because I know this is going to help, but I truly do want to help you. And if you're like, I don't know, there's no excuses. If you don't like it within 7 days, enough said. I try to help. And this is why I'm so strong in giving your money back, because I know I'm going to help you. I know that this can help if you're really, really needing that support as well. All right, so just lastly, I wanted to talk about a testimonial from my beautiful patient, Tanika. I turned to Rachel at Thrive Natural Health when I wanted to come off the pill and get a healthy cycle while also preparing my body for future pregnancy. I was afraid that when I came off the pill, my hormonal acne would flare, as it's something I've experienced my whole life. My period came back immediately and my skin did not break out as I thought it might. Rachel has a wealth of knowledge and very kind and caring approach. Highly recommend. So this was from Tanika. Gosh, I saw Tanika, honestly, about 3 years ago now. And I just literally spoke to her on Monday, so a couple of days ago. She's finishing breastfeeding her bub, and she's ready for baby number 2. And it didn't take her long to fall pregnant, and her bub is so gorgeous. She is such a stunning little girl that she's got. Really healthy pregnancy. Most importantly, when she came off the pill, her cycle was regular. She knew when she was ovulating, like she was ready to start a family quite quickly. And she never could have done that if she just quit cold turkey, because she didn't have that support, not from her GP, not from anyone. So hopefully this inspires you. If you are wanting to fall pregnant and you're a bit worried what's going to happen, don't worry. Just follow this protocol and you can fall pregnant quicker than ever before and start to raise a really healthy family, which is really exciting. Okay, ladies, I just wanted to say thank you for staying to the end. Thank you for spending this time with me. Don't forget to download your free PDF. And if you want to join me, if you want to reach out to me, ask any questions, come and say hi to me, hang out with me on Instagram or Facebook. And I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much.